All right, let me now take you through the front page of the Daily Nation. As always, the hashtag still remains to be Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. And looking at the Daily Nation, not many stories have found their way here on the front page. We start off with, of course, the story that almost everybody has gotten wind of. This is in regards to the launching, the official launching of the Nairobi Expressway by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, where he went on to give some more information in regards to the construction of the expressway. Now, this particular story has been captured here on page 8 of this daily, where President Uhuru Kenyatta commissioned the Nairobi Expressway as well as the Eastern Bypass, and he went on to give us some more information about it regarding the finances that went into this particular project, which is one of the biggest projects that our country has witnessed this far. He said the construction costed an estimated 70 billion Kenya shillings, and he clarified that this particular project was not financed by the government or any debt to the country. So he went on to say that this is the first ever public-private partnership project, road project in Kenya, and it was done by the China Communications Construction Company. They were tasked with the project to design it, to finance it, build it, and maintain it for the next 30 years as they aim to recoup the investment that they made into this road and also gain some profit from this particular investment. And from there, after 30 years, they will initiate the transition of ownership of this particular project to the government that will be in power in that time. But as it stands, they will be recouping their investment through the toll collections that will be charged to motorists at this particular toll points. And they're also tasked with revamping parts of Mombasa Road, Uhuru Highway, and Waiyaki Way, and any other road. And he also went on to congratulate them for finishing this project in half the time that was estimated. He did point out that they were meant to start and finish this project in a period of 36 months, but they were able to do it in a period of 18 months. So that gives some more clarification in regards to that particular road. Now, coming to the back page of the Daily Nation, as we prepare for the general elections, today being the 1st of August, here there is a piece concerning schools, where schools are set to close for a week in order to pave way for the general elections. And this is a provision that has been accommodated by the Ministry of Education to have a long half-term break in the academic calendar, since most of the public schools are going to be used as tallying and polling centers. Now, this particular break is set to start this Friday and will run for a week, but this, however, could also be disrupted further following the results of the presidential vote, and this is a factor that has also been considered by the ministry. And remember that this term was only set to run for 10 weeks. That was set to come to an end on the 16th of September. However, those dates might change as we progress with this particular preparation and having the general elections as well. So that is the story that has been featured here on the back page of the Daily Nation. Now, another story that is not on the front page, but it is of national interest, is in regards to some statement that was made by Agricultural Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya yesterday when he was accompanying the Azimio team in their campaigns. He spoke in regards to the state of, or rather the shortage that we are still experiencing in regards to maize flour in the country. And he went on to point that, or rather send out a stern warning to millers whom he accused of hoarding maize flour. So yesterday he said that the government has known that there are some millers that have decided to hide this product following the subsidy that was made. And he said that as of today, the government will start tracing those who are hoarding the maize flour, and they will be arrested and arraigned in court and face charges due to this particular move that they're making, which consequently is also putting a strain on the common mwananchi, because the prices, some prices are yet to go down. Some brands have lowered their prices by the 100 bob that was slashed by the government, but now the government is assessing where they are hiding, and they will be arresting and taking these particular individuals to court to face charges due to this particular hoarding that they are doing. So that is basically the front page of the Daily Nation. Not many stories were captured here, but let's have a quick look at what the Star has for us this morning. Victor.
All right, so on the front page of the Star newspaper, Raila and Ruto race in the dead heat, according to the poll. Raila and Ruto race in the dead heat, according to the poll. Ratings show that the candidate support bases have declined, with Odinga registering a 2.6% drop. This according to the Radio Africa findings, showing that neither of the two will cross the 50% plus one threshold. According to, if elections were held today, William Ruto, that is the DP, would garner 45%, Raila Odinga would get 44%, George Wajakoya 2%, undecided voters 9%. That is according to the Star newspaper. My husband left me because I was diabetic, says mom.
You know the way you started that statement, Victor.
Yeah.
We judge you not.
Okay. Big day for electoral agency in final election preparation week. That is with only 7 days to go. IBC has got a lot to tackle. That is 1 week to the election, and they say that the last batch of the ballot papers will arrive in the country on Wednesday. Let me give you that story here. The agency says that last batch of ballot papers will arrive on August 3rd, that is on Wednesday. The poll agency expects the last batch of all materials to be used in the election to arrive on Wednesday, and training of presiding officers and their deputies started on Sunday across the country and is set to continue until Wednesday, when that of the polling clerks is set to begin. Now, the agency says that it has recruited up to 300,000 temporary election officials in readiness for the election. The commission has already started the distribution of Kenya Integrated Election Management System, that is KIMS systems, kits that will identify voters and transmit results. So it's a busy week for the electoral agency. Raila dismisses eviction claims of Azimio supporters in Eldoret, says that unnamed people have threatened to unspecified action to those supporting coalition. They were pitching camp yesterday in Gishu County yesterday, while DP Ruto was in western side of Kenya. So according to the poll, UDA presidential candidate William Ruto is in the statistical tie with Azimio leader Raila Odinga, and according to the poll shows that deputy president is leading the race with 45%, Raila Odinga coming in second with 44%, as the race for the presidency gets down to the wire. This suggests that if elections were held today, neither of the two presidential frontrunners would win in the first round on August 9th. So that is according to the poll there. Ruto alleges plot to disrupt polls by use of chiefs and assistants. UDA presidential candidate William Ruto yesterday sustained his offensive against President Uhuru Kenyatta, saying that, accusing him of planning to disrupt the polls. Ruto said that he was aware of plans to use the chiefs and the assistants to recruit people in polling stations to cause mayhem on the voting day in a clear scheme to manipulate voters in favor of Raila Odinga. That is just but a brief on the Star newspaper. Quickly on the Standard, numbers that show the huge task for IEBC. Numbers that show the huge task for IEBC with 7 days to elections. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has the critical duty to deliver a credible poll. The logistical enormity is unprecedented. We have numbers there, which is quite illustrated there for you. You can take a look. Uhuru to DP, I've had power, but didn't harm you despite your insults. The president was actually just responding to the DP's attack and claims that his life and that of his family was in danger. Azimio dangles agriculture reforms in Rift Valley tour. Leaders from the region said that they are working on situations to make sure that the agricultural activity in that particular area is restored. Ruto sells 30% share to Western with 95% of the votes. He says that he's ready to win the polls. So that is what's on this front page of the Standard. Very quickly, yes, says that, let me just give you this. There's a story that was quite interesting here. Now, where the polling stations are, Nairobi is mother of them all. So according to the polling stations, according to the regions, we have got Rift Valley 12,000, Eastern 7,000, Nyanza 6,000, Central 5,000, Western 4,000, Coast 3,000, Nairobi 3,000, Northeastern 1,000, prisons 106, and diaspora 207. And of course, that is just but a flat figure. We have got some hundreds of other polling stations there. IBC's delicate balancing act of vital logistics in polling stations. Commissions will require 46,233 presiding officers and an equivalent number of deputies. 40,770 vehicles are needed to transport election materials and equipment to constituencies. Now that just tells you how election is quite expensive. No wonder IBC wanted more than 40 billion shillings to conduct this kind of election. We talk about 40,000 vehicles across the country, so you can imagine.
And mind you, they also wanted to factor in the possibility of a rerun of the general elections should none of the candidates actually attain the 50+1 that is required. And just before you move on to your next story, just to top up on that particular story concerning IEBC, yesterday the Electoral Commission did say they are ready for the elections come the 9th, and this followed the launching of the National Elections Call Center and the National Elections Media Center. The two are, you know, like sort of the physical manifestation that IEBC has to show the public in regards to their preparation and their readiness to conduct the general elections. They said that these two centers are a sign that it is all systems go, and they will be manned with over 150 call assistants that will serve also as an early warning crew to allow the commission to maintain surveillance, monitor compliance, and identify threats and deliver timely solutions to any threat that may present itself. So this also goes ahead to just reassure the public that IEBC is ready to conduct the elections. Victor.
So did you know that Nairobi has 2.4 million registered voters, electors, and 3,643 polling stations? Lamu has 81,453 voters and has 191 polling stations. So Nairobi remains to be one of the highly contested regions in the country. IEBC asks media to be accurate, fair in election coverage. We have been given some hot slap from different quarters that you know, one way or another that the media is by, but at the end of the day, it's about balancing the coverage. So yes, we got the memo. I had power but didn't harm you despite insults. Uhuru tells Ruto. President tells his deputy to stop lying to Kenyans that he wants to kill him. Uhuru says that he has a right to support whoever he wants for the presidency. He was speaking yesterday when he commissioned the landmark road projects. President Kenyatta said that he had remained silent as Ruto and Gachagua insulted him for 3 years. Uhuru said that he had the right to support whoever he wanted for the presidency, adding that his issue with the United Democratic Alliance pair was their lies. So that was according to the president. Now, the president commissioned road yesterday. The 27.8-kilometer Nairobi Eastern Bypass Road was expanded from a single to two-lane road to a dual four-lane carriageway. Contractor will revamp parts of Mombasa Road and Uhuru Highway and Wayaki Way at no additional cost to taxpayers. And Jane, initially there were some questions which are raised by citizens that the same contractor who, quote-unquote, destroyed the road was now being given another fund to repair the same road. But now it's clear that it will be done at no additional cost.
Yeah.
Some good way to go. Some good way to go. All right. Finally, on this bit, your leaders have failed you, Raila tells Rift Valley. He was yesterday in the North Rift. Azimio leaders accused Ruto and his team of heightening tension ahead of polls. They said that being the country's breadbasket, the region needs an agricultural revolution. Raila said that the country's agricultural sector has been affected by corruption, which he claimed is being masterminded by leaders close to his political competitor, Deputy President William Ruto. Today, Raila heads to Kisii County for his charm offensive. Jen.
On the Daily Nation, Wiper accuses Sonko of being a traitor for joining Kenya Kwanza. And we all know what was happening on the social media platforms the better part of yesterday, following the defecting of Mike Sonko from Wiper, which is part of the Azimio coalition, to joining UDA, which is under Kenya Kwanza. So according to the Wiper movement officials, they are now accusing former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko of being a traitor, saying that he joined the party only to shield himself from any political wars that stemmed from his impeachment that goes back to the 3rd of December 2020, and that he was just using them. But on the other hand, Mike Sonko says that he ditched the Wipe Up outfit citing frustrations by powerful individuals who were out to stop his gubernatorial bid in Mombasa. Now he has joined the UDA party, which is under the Kenya Kwanza coalition, and they still go on to say that all this time he was a supporter of DP, Ruto and UDA, but decided to take advantage of the kindness that was extended to him. Interesting to see how this will play out and whether it will have an impact in maybe the numbers even that he might pull to this particular outfit, because at the end of the day, politics and numbers go hand in hand. Victor.
All right. Okay. So I'm told that we need to take a break.
Yes.
At this particular point, yeah. Constitution span less about 15 minutes. So if you give it too much feeding without a break, we'll be bored. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, so much more after this.